G'day, Rumble. Rumble in the jungle. Alright, let's do this. Should probably post on the socials. Let's do a quick wee post on the socials. That's a bad plan. Let's do this way. What's happening today, Rumble? Is it night time for you? Beautiful. Oh, house decorating. How bad is that? Done. Twitch osmosis. Very good. Let's paint some more dragon. Is Flick still streaming? Can't remember, I was watching a little bit this morning. Yeah, I mean it's a it's a different piece to what I normally paint, and I'm trying to use different colours. But yeah, I mean it's one of the coolest pieces. G'day Chum Dabs. One of the coolest pieces I think that was released last year, most unique. So, but yeah, with that comes the challenge of trying to paint something that I haven't got a lot of experience with painting. So it's good. Haha, yes, mate. Yes, I did this just for you, actually. Just for you. Oh, JW Runtime's going to help me get big follows. Tell you what, champion. Get fucked. Get absolutely fucked. Boom. So that wasn't facetiousness either, Topulus. Mind you, I normally paint on a. Thanks, Thor and Space Cow. I normally paint on a weekend during the day. I watched the latest episode of WandaVision. Fuck, it's getting good, that show. If you're not on it, get on it. Get on it now. G'day, Toad Chapel. Yes, it's a slightly different time for me to be streaming. Hopefully you can catch a few of my American friends. Chum Dabs, I don't wash any models because I am lazy. So from that perspective, no, I don't recommend washing Chimera models. Maybe maybe playing some Tainted Grail tonight, friends. How exciting. this dragon is very heavy and awkward to hold. It's a good question, Toad. It's usually I just focus on making sure that there's enough contrast on the whole piece using the sort of quick techniques that I use, and then refine that with the smaller textures later on. The way that my process sort of works is I'll just do a lot of sketching, so I tend to have lots of little textures underneath the layers of airbrushing that I've done anyway. So usually this stage for me is about tweaking the textures that are already underlaying on the model as it is. So I guess the answer to your question is I start with the values and the contrast of the large volumes, and then that just gets refined down as I go. This dude's, g'day Drax, how are you, mate? Yes, it's early morning on a Saturday for me, and earlier than I said I was going to stream. I had a thought. I wonder if it's better for me to digitally zoom my camera so that it doesn't wobble. No, Evidently I can't do that. Very good. Good to know. Oh, awesome. I didn't get any of those, but I saw them. Liked them quite a lot. Yeah, I've got several of those Celestial minis over there, and every time I've tried to paint one, I've really struggled. They've got such interesting detail, and it's again sort of similar to this guy actually, very different detail to what I'm used to working on, and I really struggled with it. The last time I tried to paint one, that was probably about 2 years ago, so I wonder if I would go better now. Probably would. That's what happens with practice. Ah, yes, Sharkwald. Denisovich. It's been super cool starting streaming and getting to meet all of the cool people that are on this sort of painting community. I've never really participated in any Twitch streams or anything like that before. I had an account that I made about 6 or 7 years ago when Ben Comets was streaming on Twitch, and I watched a couple of those. And since then, I pretty much have not been on Twitch. So to start streaming and then start meeting all these cool people, that stream, it's like a whole little community of painters in and of itself, which is awesome. Everyone's very friendly and very welcoming. Oh, Rumble, mate. I went all in, and in fact, if you can believe it, I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning and was backer number 1. What a crazy guy. Yeah, got a massive diorama. I might even show off some of the plans for it today, some of the intended plans, because it's an elaborate and crazy piece. So we'll see how we go with being able to pull it off. Don't know yet. I feel relatively confident with painting the models. Where my confidence is probably flagging at the moment is my ability to make interesting scenery and diorama side of things, but we'll do our best. No, hasn't shipped. I think they're shipping all to Europe at the moment. Yeah. Oh, the Green Knight's one of the best, I reckon. One of the best. Loved King Arthur. He's awesome. Green Knight. Yeah, I've got sort of favourites. Yeah, let's show off the plans for my thing now if I can. I'm gonna stand by. I'm gonna show you what my plan looks like. It's pretty crazy. I'm going to try something and see if this works. Stand by. Oh, you piece of shit. Alright, I'm going to have to do... Oh, that's cool. No, I'm going to have to do just the pictures. I had a video of it, of the elaborateness of the piece, but it's not going to work. Alright, here we go. Who's raiding? Who fucking raided? G'day, friends. Oh, Miniac's raiding. Hello. Scotty, John, friends, how are you both? Anyway, this is a... I'll show that later when there's not 8 million people in the chat. Raid! We're painting some dragon, friends, from Robot Rocket Miniatures. And this guy is the dude who rides the dragon. So, pretty cool. How was Scott and John's stream, friends? I got on for a little bit, but I didn't see too much of it. Awesome. Yes, they're super cool guys. He finished the Blood Knights. He's only been working on them forever. They're the same ones that he did in that video where he converted them. It's just a bust. Unfortunately, there's no other bits of the dragon. I'll show you what the bust looks like from my Twitter. I've got a couple of pictures of the plinth I've got it on. It's just the bust. It is you, Miniac. It is you, Scott. You're my favourite. This is what it looks like. So, this is where it's at now. Scott, I got on your stream for a little bit this morning, mate. Had a little bo peep, see what you and John were doing, but didn't stay around for too long, mate. I decided I was going to watch the latest episode of WandaVision before I started painting today. Fuck, it's getting good, WandaVision. Fuck, get amongst it. It was a bit slow at the start, but yeah, it's starting to pick up steam now. No spoilers, don't worry, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Very, very, very cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. Friends, I apologise if I'm not saying thank you to everyone that is following right now. There is a fairly large percentage of people doing so. So I'm not going to be able to catch everyone. Yeah, it does pick up a lot. I found the first 2 episodes a bit slow, but 4 and 5 have been super legit. I was in the first wave of Windrider Toad Chapel. I think I was like the 3rd or 4th person to buy it. Maddie told me from Robot Rocket. So yeah, first wave. We're going to do some airbrushing soon, friends, but for the moment I'm just doing brush work to try and clean up some of my mistakes. Is John in the chat? John, are you joining, friend? Or did you fuck off as well? Azatoth, Thoth. G'day, mate. Welcome. So this isn't a normal stream time for me, friends. I'm normally of my evening. This is my morning because it's the weekend. I can just stream whatever time I want. Ah, that's a shame. In many ways, John is single-handedly responsible for me beginning to stream. Because he told me the last time I released a video that I needed to put my face on the stream, on the video that I did on my YouTube channel. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And then because I set up that, I decided that I would try and do some streaming. So you can all thank John for this. It's about 9 AM for me. I'm in Brisbane, Australia. 9 AM right now. Wow, lots of new friends joining. Thank you all. I don't paint a lot of gaming models, but the next thing I'm actually painting on stream is going to be a Blood Bowl team, a Nurgle Blood Bowl team, so that should be fun. Most of the stuff I paint these days is display pieces like this one. Yes, Nurgle, awesome models. Tongue Hat, yes, streaming a different time today, which is cool. No, I didn't. It's actually a commission, believe it or not. Have fun, Topulus. Yeah, doing a commission for a dude. No, I'm probably not gonna send or go to World Model Hobby Expo or SMC this year. Unfortunately, I'd love to. Had such a great time last year, but just with travel the way it is in Australia, we're very isolated right now. And yeah, a couple of friends of mine in the UK have been trying to book flights to get home, and they're setting it back about 20 grand, which is about 11 American dollars, and there's not even a guarantee that those flights will actually go through. They get cancelled. Yeah, I'd love to go. I had such a great time last year, but there's always next year or the year after. I'm sure the pandemic won't last forever. Yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, look, that's a good question as a thoth. Don't really know how to answer it. I think the the colour palette that I've chosen for this is actually based on this guy, which is yellow, green and red. So I've tried to sort of marry those colours into this whilst being a little bit more subtle than that guy. So I guess it's just the obvious answer is practice, but I do use a fair bit of airbrushing to help harmonise tones, combine sort of the colours together. But yeah, in many ways it's just practice, I think. So. Oh, Fluid. Oh, g'day, I am MDO. Welcome, mate. I certainly did not spend hours on the planning. Loophole, you joker. Yeah, Fluid, I didn't go, I've never been to a World Model Expo, and I'd love to go. I was actually considering going last year. I was going to make a late call to go, but I didn't end up. I want to say, yeah, I was considering booking flights in February before the, oh, awesome, mate. Before the pandemic really got into full swing. But yeah, I ended up not pulling the trigger, and probably for the best. What I've never even heard of Wonderfest, Drax. What's Wonderfest? Ah, awesome. Yeah, there's been a couple of shows in like Malaysia and Indonesia that have been sort of growing in popularity. The Craftworld guys went to one of them last year, so I'm keen to go to one of those. But everything's just fucked at the moment with travel from Australia. You just can't have any confidence. That sucks, Fluid. I hope it works out, mate. Crazy times in the world right now. Still, it's been almost 12 months now. It's sort of interesting to think how people in whatever year it was, the Spanish flu was about, just sort of reflecting on how this feels compared to them. Obviously we have the internet these days, which makes it easier to connect with people. No, that is not the book I was talking about. That is a very good book though. The one that I was referring to was called Figurepedia. Yeah, thanks. Let me grab you a link for it. There you go. Oh, that's fascinating, isn't it? Obviously, fascinating is probably not the right word to use when referring to a global pandemic, but from a scientific perspective, it is interesting. Wonder if it's a natural phenomenon that occurs as population control. Who knows? Hopefully we're all still around for that, mate. Hopefully they've invented cryogenics by then and we can all be like heads in jars like Richard Nixon from Futurama. Night, Thor and Space Cow, thanks for getting on, champion. How much do I incorporate actual shadows? So there's a few painters who are doing really cool things with like drop shadows and having light that's cast by like a light source actually being reflected in the shadows on the model. Hey Cujo. And Ruben Martinez is one of the main guys who jumps to mind when I talk about that technique, and it's super cool to see how they do that. I haven't tried implementing that. It's actually one of the things I want to try in one of my next few pieces, but yeah, I think any time you're painting a display model, you need to consider that it'll be looked at in perfect light, and basically ignore the natural shadows and paint everything as if it was in full light. Yeah, it's about 9 a.m. Cujo, not that bad, mate. It's actually later than I normally start painting on a weekend. I normally get up about 7ish and start painting, get straight into it. Weekends is when I do most of my painting normally, which is awesome. Cujo posted a new video on his YouTube, friends, about how to paint eyes. Very worthwhile having a bo peep at that. And thanks again everyone for jumping on and following. I haven't really been telling you thank you because there's been about 8,000. Yeah, Cujo, post a link in the chat, mate, to your video. Let everyone have a look at it, friend. Yes, everyone should go watch Cujo's video on how to paint eyes, because he's a much better painter than me, friends. Wow, that's some good stuff. Obviously quality controlled in their packing. My plan with 3D printers is to not ever purchase one and just get all of my friends who've already purchased one to print me stuff. It's working well so far. Got about 12 of my mates who are like, oh man, if you ever need anything 3D printed, yeah, I've got a 3D printer now, so just come and send me a message, mate, I'll get it done. Thanks, champion. Yes, that's unfortunate, Necromancer. Well, the one thing I reckon I'd like to use the 3D printer for, what I plan on using my friends who have them for, is stuff for the bases. Just like little bits of terrain and little scatter bits. I feel like that's where I'll get the most value out of it. Precisely, Cujo, precisely. However, I did actually paint a model many years ago at a convention called SteamCon, back when we were allowed to travel, which was held in Leeds, at the stadium of the Leeds Rhinos, the very first SteamCon. It was great fun, Steamforged Games convention. I got to go because I won the qualifying event for Guild Ball in Australia, so that was mad. They did a really awesome thing over the weekend where they sculpted a model live that was decided by the people at the convention. They came up with the concept of a guild in one of the seminars. It was the Rat Catchers, for what it's worth, who ended up becoming a team that you could buy. And the Russ Charles, who's one of the sculptors for Steamforged, then after live sculpting Ratcatcher dude, his name was Skulk, on stream, it's not on stream, on screen in front of a group, he sent it down to their 3D printer, and it was apparently a 90,000 pound machine that printed out super high quality detail, and he printed out 2 prints of the model that was sculpted by Russ, and brought it down the next day. So it went on the Friday, concept for the guild, concept for the player. Saturday, sculpt by Russ in the seminar, sent to the guy, printed, and then the next day they brought the sculpt up for everyone to have displayed, and I painted it that morning. So they went from fully realised from start to finish over the course of a weekend. It was fucking awesome. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. It was quite a while. Hey, found it. So here you go, this is the model that I painted that morning. On the Sunday morning of SteamCon, at SteamCon. So yeah, that was a 3D print that I enjoyed painting. The quality was just... The reason I started talking about this, Kirijo, is because you said that mold lines, and I agree with you, it's fucking terrible. But the actual... hey Ben, thanks for following, mate. But the actual crispness of the detail on that model was better than any other model I've ever painted. He had a little beard that was just immaculate. So yeah, it was. Actually, I don't know what material they print it from. G'day, Frog Jim Jaff. I'm sure it's resin of some description, but yeah, it was an orangey colour, and it was awesome. I have painted many things from Pedro Fernandez, indeed. Let me see if I can get one of mine from Pedro Fernandez. It's been a little while since I've painted one of his. I did the Red Riding Hood. I did that really tall wood fawn chick thing. Can't remember what her name is. I did Fade from Miraco Collectibles. I don't know if you remember Miraco Collectibles. Fade was sculpted by Pedro Fernandez. This is going back a long time now. I painted this in 2017. Exactly. Just pick yourself up a $90,000 printer and you'll be bang on with that one miniature you're printing out. I actually bought Garandor, the sculpt, for one of my new projects. I'm going to be doing a Drizzt and Companions of the Hall diorama with Drizzt and Bruno and Cadbury and Wolfgar. So I've actually got them here. I bought this STL file not for Garandor, but because I wanted the Guenwiviar. So that's my Drizzt for the diorama, pretty legit. This is my Cadbury. I'm going to give her a bow, I think. And then this is my Bruenor Battlehammer. I'm going to change his shield to have a foaming mug. And there's actually a version that's got a helmet, so I might use that and make some little horned helms. But yeah, so I needed the Panther, and he didn't sculpt the Panther in 75mm scale. So I bought the STL, sent it to one of my mates with a printer, and he scaled it up, printed it out for me. How good. Friends, if you're not following Ben, Metal AF Miniatures, you should all get on that now. Crazy non-metallic metal painter. Doing a lot of digital sculpting now, making everyone look real bad. Triple threat. Can paint, can sculpt, and I'm sure he can dance too. This model was, I believe, 3D sculpted. I certainly wasn't the one who 3D sculpted it. It was purchased from Robot Rocket Miniatures, which is a retailer you can go and have a look at. And this sculpt was a limited edition, I believe. Fucking COVID. Fuck you, COVID. I try to talk a lot about the positives of COVID because last year was obviously pretty tough for everyone, right? But there's been a lot of positives that come out of it from my life. I'm much more connected with my family, which sounds weird, but I live in the same place as them. I'm very fortunate in Brisbane that we don't have a lot of COVID restrictions. We have had at times, but they're pretty fine now. But yeah, I started checking in on my mum and dad, who are in their 60s, and their health and well-being, making sure they're okay. And yeah, it's just been nice from that perspective. Gave me the time to focus a bit more on work, and when I came home from work, focus a bit more on painting, which is cool. So yeah, I try to focus on the positives of what it's brought for me. You ever get on a YouTube bender where you just like, you start at some video and then you end up watching some weird videos at like 2 o'clock in the morning? Well, last night after I went to bed after watching WandaVision and streaming my painting last night, I was watching some YouTube videos, gaming videos on some board games, watching a playthrough of Great Western Trail actually. And I ended up on some weird fucking videos, eh? I'm gonna post this one in the chat because I don't know how much I can express how much I love the internet and what comes out of it. It's just like, people are great. People are so great. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, I do like Shut Up and Sit Down. They make me laugh. This is a video I was watching it. I'll tell you, this is a true story. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. I was completely nude and I was dancing to this video last night. It's fucking bizarre. I don't know how I got there. I hadn't even had anything to drink either. I was just digging it. Just digging the tunes. It's great. I just love the internet so much. My cat was looking at me like I was an idiot. Probably fair. Yeah, maybe someone spiked my kombucha. Maybe my cat spiked my kombucha. Maybe she secretly got a video set up in my bedroom that she shares with all of her cat friends. Yeah, I listened to the finished version last night too. Of a little string quartet, four a cappella group singing it. I listened to that about 6 times as well. It's fucking crazy. I love the internet. I do. I love it so much. G'day Nighthawk, thanks for following, mate. Yeah, pad lip reading's good. I don't know, the internet, man, it's just the best. He's from Australia as well. I think he's actually from Townsville, or he's in northern Queensland, I believe. Yeah, I've actually, interestingly you say that, I've been looking up a few of his videos recently to try and, thanks mate, to try and prepare for my Camelot diorama, which I'll talk about again in a minute when I'll finish doing some of these little things. Scales. Yes, I want to make some better trees. He's up there with Bob Ross, isn't he? Just very relaxing, super calm demeanour. Love it. All right, I'm going to try and show you some of my intentions for my diorama for sorry about that. Just does it for me. Hits the spot. Beautiful. Cool. All right. So this is my very rough plan. So what I had in mind for this diorama was to combine all of the models from the Echoes of Camelot into one diorama. So this, the reason it's a circle is because just up there I have a rotating display stand that slowly spins around. So it's going to be on a round table. Magic. And I've split it into basically 5 separate viewing angles, which has a little story in each one. So this one here that's at the front is Arthur, Percival and Mordred, and that's going to be in a crypt. So there's going to be different heights as well, so that as the table spins around, you'll have one of the scenes be on top of a mountain, and then various bits and pieces. The one that's in the crypt is going to be inside the mountain. Then we've got Uther and the Lady of the Lake here, obviously in a lake. Very good. The Green Knight and Morgana and Merlin and Sir Kay fighting off here. Actually, I think I might have moved Sir Kay since this one. There might just be Merlin versus Morgana and the Green Knight. Galahad's riding out from a castle, etc., etc. So that was my broad strokes where everything's going to sort of end up. And then I'll just show you some of the rough mock-ups I did of the base. So that's Galahad riding out from a castle with Sir Kay overlooking him, standing on a cliffy thing. So I'm going to have like a stairway, or maybe just like some sort of rock face going up to the top there, and that's going to be a tower in the middle. And then this is the Lady of the Lake and Uther Pendragon. So there's actually supposed to be like little stories between each of the models, and I try, like there's a pretty good reason why all of them are combined together. G'day, Paul. In terms of like the King Arthur stories, there's reasons for each. This is the only one that doesn't really fit, but it's the last 2 models that were left. So okay. And then yeah, this one's. I tried to post the actual video here, but I couldn't post the video. Wouldn't let me. I tried. And yeah, so that's going to sit inside the mountain crypt. So this is the whole concept is that as the table slowly spins around, you'll get to see a different scene, different height, and the little stories tying together. So it's an aggressive approach trying to paint 15 models or whatever it is, 14 models. But I'm actually confident on that. The thing I'm not confident on is building the scenery. So I actually was watching Luke's videos to try and get better. Yeah, one or two weekends, mate, should be fine. Smash it out. Piece of cake. No, I got no idea. I have no idea how long it's going to take. I put aside 3 months in my mind. Maybe more, but probably not. Probably come in less, I reckon. Fucking love it, man. Can't stop. So good. That'd be cool to have a train, hey? Doesn't really fit, but it'd be fucking cool. I don't think there was trains in King Arthur's time. To the best of my recollection, anyway. So I found out it's actually about a song about a girl named Levia or whatever. The I can't remember. But anyway, she goes out to date a dude, and her mum's not happy about it. How good? The internet, friends. Knights of the Train would be cool. Would be cool. Well, thank you to those who stuck around after Miniac's stream, still watching. As I said a bit earlier, friends, I am going to be doing some Blood Bowl models next, which is probably more in your wheelhouse. What a very introspective question, Toad. I think it's probably a byproduct of a few things. The first is my background. So I came from a gaming background, and that also includes working for Games Workshop in the early 2000s, where we painted models quickly. And so that transitioned into my gaming painting. I used to paint armies pretty quickly, and actually did a bit of commission stuff painting armies for people, which was great. Helped me when I was a young man with very little money. And I didn't really start display painting until about 4 years ago or so, and I think probably if you asked some of my mentors what my weaknesses are as a painter, it's the fact that I don't take enough time on things. So I guess the speed is related to how much my history is painting stuff quickly. So I've developed good brush control, and my brush goes where I tell it to pretty much every time. I don't mess up, and I have quite fast hand speed. But I do think that the techniques that I've evolved, and I'm not trying to claim that I'm the progenitor of using a fucking airbrush, but certainly the way I use an airbrush is a little bit different to others generally, and I think that has helped significantly, just the evolution of the techniques I use in the speed as well. So to answer your question, it's probably a little bit of both technique and the background. Yeah, I mean, it's funny you asked that. I actually did go back to army painting last year at the start of, start of 2019 actually. I painted an Nurgle army, an AOS army. No, it's all just doing stuff, mate. I don't really have a plan at all. I mean, I think if you had watched the evolution of this over the last couple of streams, it's just made up, mate. It's kind of like a YouTube rabbit hole. Hey, Xtab. It starts off with one idea, and then you find yourself watching this video. Yeah, so I sort of, I usually have an idea in my mind about something to do with the model, like what colours I want to paint the model, or what techniques I want to use. Loophole. Absolutely bang on. Yeah, so it's like I have a concept usually, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just have a colour, and that was actually the colour that I wanted, that started this. I wanted the cloak to be yellow, and nothing else has been really planned, other than I wanted this dude to remind me of Falcor. the Luck Dragon from the Neverending Story. He's a bit angry for Falkor though. And so when you don't really have a plan, you start painting and things happen and evolve, and you change your plan, which results in you thinking, oh, I might do something this bit now. Usually I try to work on the whole model somewhat at the same time, so you can develop an understanding of how all the colours are interacting on the piece. But sometimes I just get super jazzed to paint, a specific area, and I spend all my time doing that. Yeah, because it's just for fun, Toad. Haha, yes, awesome, Troubled Strife. Yes, it is. It's reminded me of too when I first saw it. So I was like, Falkor. Should paint this guy like Falkor. Yeah, and that's the I guess the power of the technique. I've done a few videos on YouTube where I sort of talk through my process probably a little bit more effectively than I do on stream. But I like to describe it as sketch and then refine. So I use quick brush strokes and big contrasts to create the interest, and then I usually go down into a smaller detail and refine those quickly. Sometimes the refining happens with an airbrush, sometimes it happens with a brush, but it's all about getting the concept from a broad scale and looking at it as a whole broadly before you start going down and doing the fine details. And I think that is probably contrary to the way I used to approach things, which was, you got to work on each section and get each section perfect. So it is a magic mix from Joe Sonia in this little spot here that I sometimes grab. Because I'm in Australia and the paint dries out super quick, I find if I don't have something, it just dries out on my brush tip pretty much before I even get to fucking do any painting. Yeah, and Toad, with the red snout as an example, mate, like probably why you're seeing me take more time with that is because I don't actually know what I'm doing there. I haven't really got a lot of confidence in that snout area. I was starting with, it actually was a skin tone and a magenta to begin with, and now it's sort of more red, and I don't even know if I'm happy with that red either. So part of the reason why you're seeing some challenge in that area is indeed because I have no fucking idea what's going on. So what I'm going to do after I've finished with these big heavy brush strokes is I'm actually going to use the airbrush to do some smoothing of this, and you'll get to see that very soon. Probably. It depends on the model. Not normally. Thanks, Captain Carp. You're amazing, friend. Depends on the model. There'll be certain things that I'll look up reference details for, particularly if it's things I'm not confident on. I do have a couple of Instagram pages I follow, which gives me references for non-metallic metal, which is really useful. This is the last non-metallic metal dude I tried to do. I did him on stream too, actually. It took about 3 hours. Pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I looked at a picture of Falcor before I started painting this, but that's about the extent of the reference material I got for this piece. I've looked up. Generally, one of the things I do is I look at artwork that inspires me. I have like a whole pile of fantasy artwork saved on my phone, which is just it's color palettes usually that I like to refer to. You know, sometimes it can be a color, a concept, an emotion from a piece of artwork that inspires the way I approach painting something. I've done a few paint jobs where I've tried to replicate a piece of artwork, which was a fun experiment. Yeah. And not even just miniature artwork. I mean, there's some miniature artwork in there, but generally the stuff I save is fantasy artwork. You know, Boris Vallejo, Simon Bisley, dudes like that. I know I've done heaps of sci-fi stuff, mate. I'll grab one out and show you. And probably the next model I'm going to paint on stream is actually going to be a sci-fi bust after the Blood Bowl team. This is the bust I'll be doing next, I think. Super cool. Yeah, let's grab a picture of a sci-fi thing I've done. I do tend to do more fantasy work, I have to admit. I'm probably more inspired by fantasy work than I am sci-fi. Yeah, here's a sci-fi-ish one I did. Please, Toad Chapel, you're welcome, mate. Welcome to ask as many questions as you like. Happy to answer. G'day Q. Hey mate. Thanks Kung Fu. I mean, I'm probably pretty hard on myself, but I probably don't push myself enough sometimes. Usually and I've talked about this before, I paint because I like painting. I don't do it to achieve a result. Generally, I just paint stuff and have fun and that's that. On occasion, I've done something where I've tried to push myself. Let's grab a picture of one where I've tried to push myself. You wait till you see this one. Yeah, so I tried to push myself on this bad boy. Yeah. Yeah, it was a Pokeball. It was a Pokeball on her shoulder. When I try to push myself, I reach a point usually where I'm not enjoying it, and I feel like that when you're enjoying something is when you get the most expressive and interesting and emotive pieces. When I try to push myself, to try and be really, really good, sometimes I lose a little bit of that love and joy of what I'm doing. So from the perspective of, am I a critic of my own work? I am, and I'm always striving to be better and striving to learn and improve and stretch myself and grow. But I'm also, generally I'll finish a piece and that'll be it. I'll just be like, reflect on what I learned and not get too critical of myself. So That took 10 days, by the way, friends. The fairy garden. Suck shit, Cujo! I think it's a life thing. Like I've, as I'm sure many of us have, gone through some pretty difficult times, and you've always got two choices in life. You can learn from stuff and get better, or you can let it define you in a negative way. And yeah, the thing that I've taken away from some of those experiences is just appreciating what I have and appreciating being able to enjoy this cool hobby and all the cool friends I've made and met. Got pretty deep there for a moment, friends. I'm sorry. Try to keep things light. Let's do some airbrushing. That'll keep things light. That is definitely one that still haunts me to this day. Still. To this day. And it's not actually the losing that hurts. It's I remember the look on my friends' faces when we lost, and seeing them in tears and seeing all the effort that we put in sort of not go to waste, but yeah. Topulus, I would definitely, if I was going to select one, if you can only go to one, it's Monte Sansovino, and that is it. If you get an opportunity to do two, Scar Model Challenge. The European hospitality and camaraderie at all those events is just crazy. So, well, you say that, Sharkwald, but it's fucking 10 a.m. here, mate. So it's a bit early for deep shit like that. Let's do some airbrushing, friends. It is not, I'm afraid to say, no. There you are. So I'll try to remember to show what I'm doing with my paint in the cup here. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm gonna smooth the transitions a bit by using a mid-tone. So I mix a little bit of thinner first, and then oh, I forgot to put my black cardboard down. Dear oh dear. Go to Italy, mate. It's the best. My favourite place in the world. Alright. What this is doing is it's creating a filter over all those sketchy lines I did, and smoothing shit out. out so you can see the whole piece. Yeah, so this is the first stage of airbrushing. I mean, there's lots of ways you can approach airbrushing, but this sort of method gives you texture underneath the airbrush layers, which can be pretty cool. And we're going to add some contrast, both literally and figuratively, by using contrast paint and the broad term contrast. My dad always said, mate, we're not here to fuck spiders, so let's get amongst it. Let's give it a crack. Cujo, I mean, you're welcome to give it a red hot crack, but I shan't be participating. So the other component to what I'm going to do now is add a little bit of a filter to the horns because they're quite purple. Don't particularly want them to be full purple. Just want there to be hints of purple. So we're going to do a wee filter. My good friend Cujo would say, a wee filter. And there you go, that's how you paint horns in 3 easy steps. You know, Australia gets a pretty bad rap for spiders, right? You can, mate, you can. You can combine the two. I just like to have a little bit more control over things, and usually I don't decide I'm going to do a filter until after I've finished the other stuff. Like, oh yeah, I want to change the tone of that slightly to be more aligned with the piece. we get a bad rap for spiders. But literally, my girlfriend actually is obsessed with spiders. She hates them. But yeah, it's not generally something I worry about day to day. We don't see fuck all. So the question I've got to ask myself now is this colour on the horns the colour I want to do the teeth? I'm not sure. Yes, snakes are probably more of a concern than sharks. I've seen many snakes. You'll see snakes pretty much everywhere. Spiders, I suppose it's just used to it. Yeah, so I put a little bit of airbrush cleaner into the cup, and then I get my little synthetic brush that's seen better days, and just splodge it around in there to clean out bits and pieces. And then, because this is an Iwata, you can do backflow, which will force the air back through the cup, and that tends to clean out most of the rest of the stuff. I actually cleaned my airbrush on last night's stream. Wasn't intended, but it's crisp afterwards. And then I just run a bit of water through it. Yeah, jellyfish. I've seen some jellyfish that are bad. Sharks, I suppose. Yeah, look, maybe it is a bigger deal than I make it out to be, but it's just business as usual for me. It's just what life's like here. Don't really think about it that much. Vicious drop bears. See you, shark. Thanks for stopping by, friendo. You're a great dude. I'm obsessed with that song at the moment. I don't know why. It's fucking crazy. Crazy shit. Oh, Flickster's joined the team. Flicky, flicky, flicky. Boo, 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 boo. Thanks, mate. Dusty Telephone, thank you for following. I'm probably not going to be able to keep up with all the people following, so sorry in advance. How was your stream, Flick? Did you get any more progress going on Cruel? Australia! Spark TV, you fucking legend. You painted a whole skull when I saw, which is impressive stuff for you. Fucking Australia! Did you tell him I was going to hang shit on you? It's just so easy to pick on short guys. It's just small target, easy to pound on them. Oh no, thank you. Thank you, Flickster. Hi, Dr. Flink. I do like Flickster's stream. Holes Transa. Are you talking about me being really nice to Flick? Good question. Good question. What's happening, Flick? Hey, maybe we should get back to being angry at each other, you dickhead. Oh, you fuck. You fuck. Thanks for reminding me. The finals tonight. I'm not happy about it. I don't know if I want this colour thing I did for the horns as the colour of the teeth. I don't think I want that. What do you friends think? Would we call it a hairstyle when there isn't any hair? Or we just call it a melon? Flick, I know you haven't been on the stream, mate, but I've been obsessed. Last night I was on a YouTube bender, and I got real deep, and at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was dancing in my room naked to this YouTube clip. I couldn't stop, mate. I'm telling you, I could not stop. It was fucking bizarre. I reckon I watched that about 12 times. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. So do we think the teeth should be this same purpley colour? I don't think so. I don't think I want them to be the same colour. Yeah, you're probably right there. Nah, mate. Nah, fuck that, mate. Shit call, shit call. iGood's peeler, mate. Doesn't matter that you're shit at painting. You can still have a very valuable opinion. My girlfriend is also shit at painting, and she provides me with a lot of great feedback about how shit my work is. So I like everyone's perspective on things. This brush, yes, Raoul, I am in Brisbane, mate. There's a Winsor & Newton Series 7. However, it is a bit of an old one, and the old feathers have splayed a bit. Feathers, what a dickhead. Bristles. brush hairs. The jobbo bits on the end. Alright, Toad, thanks mate, you're a champion. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Hopefully catch you again. But there's always things you can improve and things you can learn from, so I think that's the right mindset to take. Alright, we're going to do something. The heat has been pretty full on this year, and the Brisbane Heat were also pretty full on this year till they lost. WJ, g'day champion. Look at this little fucker. What do you think you're doing, you little dickhead? Where the fuck's my tweezers at? Nah, the eyes are done. They're not done. They're rubbish. Yeah, I tried to do them the other night, and yeah, I'm not happy with where they're at. So we'll be redoing those at some point. Probably not today. Need to reflect on what I want to do the eyes. Little joke there, because eyes have reflections. What I am thinking is I may do the eyes yellow to match the rider, like golden yellow. But I'm not sure at this stage. I may change my mind. I missed one, did I? Sorry, AC Miniatures. How are you, champion? I've definitely missed that somewhere on the way. Yes, this is this is Wind Rider from Robot Rocket. Good on you, champion. Have a lovely meal and beer, and thank you for the raid. And hopefully, hopefully I have provided some value for you. And Droopy NSS, you subscribed. Thanks, you champion. Nighthawk, thanks, mate. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Well, I appreciate that, mate. You can go check out my social medias if you want. I have been around for a little while, but yeah, I don't do a lot of gaming stuff, although I am about to start a Blood Bowl team on this stream soon, so probably when I finish this model. I may even start them soon and put this model down for a bit because it's quite fatiguing painting this guy. I will definitely have a look, mate. And all you need to do is keep practicing, buddy. You'll get easily as good as me and better than me in no time at all. It's an interesting moment on this piece because I'm not really loving this colour. Sort of feel like these two are now fighting against each other a bit. Well, I was actually trying to make it more yellow because I wanted it to be a little bit more like Falcor and have sort of all of him be the same colours, but I don't think that's going to work for the model. Indeed I have looked at Yadharo minis. They do some super cool orc dudes, big muscly orc dudes. I've painted a lot of models, but I don't think I've painted any of theirs, no. Bit of airbrushing, I think. No, I buy most of my models, mate. Happy to support businesses in the hobby. Not a lot of money to be made in the hobby, so I like to support when I can, where I can. Oh, thanks, Sarah Beth. We're getting there. It's been pretty slow going for me. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Kung Fu, but there's something about it I don't quite like. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown to that green using a chestnut ink. See how that looks. And a wee little bit of airbrushing. Love an opportunity to just crack out the airbrush. Probably most of the time, yeah. Just because it's fun to use. Oh, Badger! Hey, mate. It's going okay, friend. Badger, 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 mushroom. Woo. Thanks, buddy. Falcor. Yeah, cool. Sort of just feels like that's fighting less against the purple now because it's more turned towards yellow. So I'll obviously have to do a bit more highlighting on that, but yeah, I think that's going okay now. We'll see. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'm just making shit up as we go along, pal. Let's hope for the best. Falcor, the Luck Dragon. It can be part of the problem when you don't really have a plan. You have to keep changing stuff. That's okay. It's just more painting, which is fun. And here's something else that's fun, friends. Get amongst it. Yeah, I love them. Love them for airbrushing. I don't recommend airbrushing them straight. I always dilute them with my Magic Thinner Mix. But yeah, they're great. I love them. I use them all the time for a variety of things. Good cliffhanger on WandaVision's episode, friends. If you haven't been watching, get amongst it. It was a banger. Droopy, I prime with Chaos Black Games Workshop spray, and then I use a Vallejo white primer through my airbrush to do a bit of a zenithal prime. That is my general process for all priming. I don't change it. The only thing I change on occasion is where I do the prime, the zenithal, the lights from. Indeed, Paul, it is starting to heat up now. It was a weird start, but yeah, picking up. Droopy, if you go back and watch some other streams, I've done everything on this on stream, so you'll be able to see the evolution from start to here. There is a difference between the two Cat's miniatures. So contrast paints use a different binding agent, or whatever the expression is. So if you try to use inks like a contrast paint, what you'll find is that the inks won't follow the same properties, so they won't sort of settle in the recesses as much. You'll just get a lot of muddy stains across the model. The contrasts are designed for, because the binder is thinner or whatever, different consistency, viscosity, I don't know the fucking term. So that stays on top of the model with some of the pigment in it, whereas the other heavy pigment settles in the recesses. So that's just uses a different thing. So inks don't tend to have the same reactions as washes and contrast paints. You can make contrast paints by using a binder, sort of like this, and mixing that with the ink. That'll have a similar effect. Painting Nurgle Team X-Tab. I've got them just behind me actually. I'll pull them out and we'll have a look at them in a minute. Yeah, I have tried just airbrushing the primer on there, and I've found that it doesn't stick. The airbrush. So I use Cast Black first all the time. So the way you use inks should be different to the way you use a wash. So inks are used to add saturation, to add power to a colour. Let's just turn this down a little smidge. So if you try to use an ink as a wash, it won't generally work that well. So you have to treat it as more of like a filter. You want it to evenly cover the whole surface of whatever you're painting, which will change the tone of it slightly towards that colour. So if you use a yellow ink, for example, it will change the tone slightly to yellow. They don't work in the same way, which is why I find them really useful for airbrushing, because you can get that smooth transition gradation. If you like my hair on the model, I thought you were talking about my hair, I was disappointed then. But pretty much everything you paint with, you just gotta practice with. There's different ways, and different people use different paints and inks and all sorts of things in a variety of interesting ways. So you just gotta find what works for you. Chum dabs. What are you doing on a Saturday morning, mate? Don't you have somewhere to be? Isn't it like Festival of Flowers or some shit on the weekend in Toowoomba? It's pretty much all you guys got going on up there, isn't it? Beautiful. Oh yeah, the one that you bought from Irresistible Force. How cool. I've painted him before. Doesn't matter how it's going, mate. What matters is, are you having fun when you paint it? And if the answer is yes, then you are succeeding. You are succeeding at painting. The result is secondary to the enjoyment. So I feel like this works a little bit better with the purple here now. Didn't initially, but I think it does now. Just before there was just like, felt like the green was fighting with the purple a little bit. Both of them wanted to be the center of attention, even though neither of them should be the center of attention. And I just didn't love it. But now I feel like we've got a little bit better handle. I feel like he's starting to look more like Falcor too, like the same sort of vibes as Falcor. The only problem is, right, Falcor is just the best dude. He's the fucking best. And this, I tried to do that actually. I'll show you something. Yeah, I feel like this. Yep, exactly, Droopy. Just have fun, mate. Just do some stuff. Shit'll work out sometimes. Sometimes it won't. Yes, this looks better. Yeah, this guy's he's a bit angry. He's a bit angry looking to be Falcor, so I don't want him to be total Falcor because look at that. He's like, fuck you, fuck you. Here is an example of a model I painted, Chum Dabs, where I had lots of competing focal points. It's also probably one of the things I've done that I'm most happy with. There you go. Yeah. Oh, g'day, Ty Love. Thanks, mate. Lots of competing focal points. I did sell that already. No, less than that. Half that. So there's a few things I really like about this. So the first is if you have a look at a color wheel, the color wheel is present on this model, or it's tried to. It's their 1 to 10 scale, I think. So we go from red's supposed to be at the top. There's a bit of red in the hair of that fire chick. Then you go down into yellows, then you go to greens, then you go into blues, and you go into blue to purple, back to red. So there's a colour wheel. And then on the left hand side we've got predominantly cold colours, and on the right hand side we've got predominantly warm colours. Then you've also got, they're obviously representative of 4 elements, if you didn't know. So the left air is the highest element, and then next is fire, which is the next lightest, and then earth and water. I wanted to have a waterfall, so I think earth probably should have been below water, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, so, and I'll tell you why. This is one of the only times I've ever planned out a piece. It's because I bought these models at Scale Model Challenge when I was overseas. That was where they released them, and I then had 5 weeks of holidaying in Europe where I was waiting for Monty. We spent 5 weeks in Europe. Obviously, I was doing some holidaying at the time too, but the time when we weren't doing stuff, I was just sort of like, fuck, I can't wait to get home and paint these fucking models. I pretty much got home straight away and started them. So I had a heap of time to plan it. I drew little pictures on my computer about where I was going to position them. I started, building the ideas in my mind and what colours I was going to paint them. So, thank you for following past and present. Yeah, so there's a lot of conscious thought in how I approach this, and I think probably the fact that I just was enjoying everything, every painting bit. There was a period where I was about 3/4 of the way through where I started to hit a wall, and I put it down for a bit and did some other stuff. But yeah, I found the passion and excitement back, so it was good. I like it. Let's see if I can find something else I did that I like of mine. I think I already showed this one on the stream, but maybe I'll show it again. So I've done a fair bit of experimenting with red light underneath. Thanks, Kung Fu. So this was one I did. This was actually the piece I took to Monty that I was really, really proud of. So that's one other thing I did that I liked. Good call, Chum Dabs, looking out for me. Thanks, mate. They're covered, mate. So I don't know what you're talking about. And then this one, another one I did that I was pretty chuffed with. So I was experimenting a lot with like red lights from below, which was a fun experiment. This is from Aradia Miniatures. It's called Sticks. It was good fun to paint that one. Oh yeah, whoop, dragon just fell over. Yeah, I did a full video series on how I painted this dude. It's on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I thought it was pretty. That was actually probably one of the videos I was most happy with, actually. Even though I felt like I was going back and forth a lot, I felt like I was just fucking repeating the same thing over and over again. But yeah. So there you go. There's some cool models I've painted. Has anyone got any models they'd like to share with for some critique? I can find plenty, Captain Carp. There's often times when I don't love things that I've done, but we learn, we get better. Was the video helpful, Badger? Did you enjoy watching it? You don't like the circles, Cujo? Good, Badger. Just on the circles, so I am intending on putting some smaller designs inside the circles. It's a traditional sort of Japanese thing. They have like circles with clan symbols or something inside them, so that's potentially what I'm going to try and do. Potentially. I kind of like the circles. I think it adds an interesting visual element. But yeah, take your point. Yeah, some sort of symbol. There's a flower symbol or something. I downloaded a couple of ideas that I'll try. Oh, that's a good idea, Cujo. G'day, Furrow Roach, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Some kanji. We'll see. I'm not convinced I can do it well, but at the same time, I want to practice it. This was sculpted by a dude, and I have no idea what his name is, but it's sold by Robot Rocket Miniatures. So if you went and had a look on Robot Rocket Miniatures website, you'd probably find out who did it. Check their Instagram page. No, I didn't, Cujo. Thanks for following, Nact Mully. You got one you want to sell me? Oh, see you, chums. No, I'm going to head off and grab some lunch soon, mate. So, probably I might come back later on in the afternoon, I guess. See how I'm going. Oh yeah. I mean, I think I've painted like quite a pretty broad spectrum of things. What I seem to be moving into these days more than anything else is like big projects, lots of models. Colwell was saying the other day he reckons that's my niche, that I should sort of stay in that, because there's not many other people that can paint as many models as I can in a time frame. to the sort of standards I paint them to. So doing big projects. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm doing the Companions of the Hall piece, 6 models on it, which is aggressive. Thank you, mate. Drax. Oh, would I love to show you the Wizard of Oz? Yes, I would. Never misses an opportunity to show some fucking pictures on stream, does Big Deno. Can show a fucking picture. Stand by. Boom. Wizard of Oz. Post-apocalyptic Wizard of Oz. How you like them apples? So there's a lot of references in there to the Wizard of Oz. If you have a look at the small can in front of the Tin Man, it says oil on it, on the drum. There's the oil can. I'll show you a couple of other angles because it's good stuff. It's good stuff for Big Deno. Some of my best work. There's posters on the ground underneath each of the people's feet. You can't see the one underneath Scarecrow, but it's actually got a picture of a little brain on the poster, and then there's underneath the Tin Man there's a poster of a heart, and underneath the lion there's a poster of, I think it says courage under fire, but you can only see the courage. So there's that. Dorothy's obviously got her ruby boots. The Scarecrow was the main one that I was struggling with, but if you've actually, I don't know how many people got this reference, but it's actually the Crow from the movie The Crow. It's the same face paint and tattoo on his chest as the movie The Crow. So yeah, spot on Topulus. The Lion and the Tin Man are Black Sun, and Jason and Cherry are the two from Chimera. And the dog, actually, I don't know, Colwell sent me the dog. I got no fucking idea where he got it, but it's got a little gas mask on, which is fucking awesome. And here's another little fun reference. This one's pretty deep. I don't know that many people watched this, but it was a TV series that came out on the Sci-Fi Channel many years ago called Tin Man, which I watched because it's sort of like a post-apocalyptic Wizard of Oz story-ish thing. Not really, but I watched it years and years ago and I loved it. So, but the banner there is Milltown, and that's actually from Tin Man, the movie, series. Milltown's a scene from that. The sign in the background is actually an Australian road sign, so it's based on an Australian road sign, and Emerald is actually a city in Australia, in Perth. Sorry, not Perth, in Western Australia. So the whole thing was, it's kind of like set in Mad Max's universe, I guess, with the Emerald City. I did this in about a week and a half. Pretty good clip. I was happy with it. Thanks, mate. Look, I do things on occasion that I like, and I was pretty happy with how that came about. pretty happy with the way that all came together. No, it wasn't without sleeping. It's actually on my, if you follow me on Twitter, I pretty much post all my work in progress stuff on there, and I think, yeah, the models themselves weren't too difficult to paint. And if you have a look at my work, as I'm sure you've been able to observe watching me paint this, I do things in a pretty rough and sketchy style, so that made painting those other things easier, because it was in that same rough and ready style. That style suits post-apocalyptic and models that are a bit dirty. Yeah, I mean, I think we all have that mindset of when you first learn how to paint, that the only way to get smooth transitions and smooth blends is to just lots and lots and lots of glazes. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that don't paint that way that do fucking awesome stuff. Sergio Calvo Rubio is one of my favourites. Roman Lepart. Mine was The Sound of Music, mate. Sound of Music was my favourite movie when I was a kid. When I got a little bit older, it became the movie Willow. Still, to this day, I think Madmartigan is one of the coolest characters ever on screen. Madmartigan. Oh, yeah. So the local library used to have it. The local library used to have a copy of it on VHS. And I used to run down to the library every couple of weeks, just be like, oh, I wonder if Willow's here. I'll grab it, hire it for the week, watch it like 2 times. I had a colouring book from Willow. It was great. It's funny how many old movies have permeated into my vocabulary. Anytime someone says, we go that way, I go, that way, to the lake, which is from Willow, from the 2 little brownies saying it. And I reckon 1 in 100 people actually knows what the fuck I'm saying, but I don't even realise I'm doing it half the time. Yeah. The remake's got Warwick Davis. It's going to be fucking great. I'm excited. Yeah, but I might. one of my goals is to eventually get into 3D sculpting, and I actually want to do a 3D sculpt of Mad Mardigan. That'd be fucking so good. Mad Mardigan. Jurassic World, sort of a remake. It was awesome. Loved that. Second one sucked a bit. There's 2 TV shows I'm excited about at the moment, both being made by Amazon. They're doing a Lord of the Rings TV series, which sounds super cool. And then there's also going to be a Wheel of Time TV show. I don't show this often, but friends, I actually have a tattoo on my chest here of a dragon, which is actually the dragon reborn from the Wheel of Time. They're making a TV show out of my favourite book series. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm really excited about that. Looks good. Looks pretty cool. Alright friends, I think I'm going to go get some lunch. Have an early lunch. But this is coming along now. I think we're starting to see a bit of a vision of where it's going to go. And starting to enjoy it. Thanks AC Miniatures for following. So I may come back on after I have lunch. I'm not sure. See how I'm feeling. I might play some. I got some Tainted Grail set up. I might play some Tainted Grail. I want to add just a touch more yellow into these. Actually, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do the eyes yellow. I think that'll be enough. And yeah, all right. Good on you, AC Miniatures. See you, champion. And thanks, Topulus. I'll probably try and set up a regular one on my I don't know what calendar thing that tells everyone I'm going to stream Saturday mornings from 9 to 12. So, but yeah, you can catch me other times as well. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow night my time, which will be morning for you guys on a Sunday morning. So, in Europe. All right, friends. Have a great day or night. Sleep well. You're all amazing. Denizens. Let's go raid some motherfuckers. Let's find us someone we can raid. Fucking raid, motherfuckers. Thanks, cats. We gotta find someone to raid. Whilst we're finding someone to raid. Alright, I found someone to raid.